By the builder, it's been described as the house from hell. I do have some regrets. That actually meant I lost almost £2,000. I know this is the question that you're all waiting for. Being totally transparent, the renovations have cost over 60 grand. Everyone says to me, oh, it'll be so worth it in the end. Some days I think, is it though? I don't know what more screams house reno than white garden chair plonked in the middle of your half-finished kitchen. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. As you can see, today we are in the house and very exciting updates have happened today. I literally arrived here about 20 minutes ago and all the kitchen doors are on, the drawers are on, all the appliances apart from the gas hob are in. That hasn't arrived yet, which I should probably be slightly concerned about because how am I making pesto pasta currently? Anyway, for this week's video, I thought we could have a little Q&A catch up / answering your assumptions about me, my life, me, myself and I. I'm joking. Mostly about the house renovation and about how things are going. To be honest, I think I underestimated how many of you would be interested in this process. Sometimes I feel like I'm the only one that is obsessed with watching renovations. Anything to do with doing up your home, I've always loved it, to be fair. There was actually a time in my life where I was considering being an interior designer. I mean, you're welcome to judge my house choices when it's done to see if that would be a valid career or not. But I asked 3 questions over on Instagram. I have been inundated with responses, so thank you very much. I haven't had a look at these questions yet, so I'm going to dive through and answer as many as I can and try and keep this a little bit snappy. I'm going to try not to waffle. Question number 1 is, what did you wish you knew before starting the renovations? I wish I knew what a lengthy process it was going to be. So I actually got the keys to this house at the very end of October / beginning of November. I can't remember the exact date, but we are now 7 months down the line and have just got the kitchen in, because a lot of the work when it comes to a renovation is not the pretty stuff that you see online, and I didn't really know that. I kind of knew there was going to be like some work done beforehand. It needed some electric work. I didn't know that actually it's not all as fun as it looks online, which is probably really obvious. But when you see people doing renos and you see these TikTok montages, it looks like it flies by. It really doesn't. So if you've got a renovation coming up, my message to you would be patient, and it's worth spending money on the stuff you don't see, like the electrics, like the plumbing. The next assumption is, I assume you have loads of disposable money. I guess this is relative. Some people would say yes I do, some people would say no I don't. I personally wouldn't call my money and my savings disposable money, because it's always been saved for the purpose of doing exactly this, buying a house, doing it up. I think I've always been quite good with money because I'm such a future, what's the word? I don't know what I'm trying to say. I have always longed for, I want to say, my late 20s to my 30s. Not to wish my life away, but since I was little, I've always been so excited for my settled era, having a family, having that daily, what some will call mundane routine. I think that will be the point of my life that I enjoy the most. So I've always, I've really gone off on a tangent, and I was going to try not to waffle in this video, so sorry. What I'm trying to say is, I've always put my savings towards my future. Maybe everyone thinks of this differently, but to me, disposable money is stuff that you are happy to throw away. You've got the money to spend on the handbags, the holidays, and you're happy to do that. That's not me anymore. So yeah, I personally wouldn't say I do have a lot of disposable money, but if you have the view that savings in general is disposable money, then I guess I did have quite a bit before this house reno. Let me tell you guys, that has changed. Speaking of money, someone said, how much has your renovations cost you? So obviously, it's still not finished. I think we're about a month away, and when the whole thing is done, I'm happy to do a video and sit down and explain roughly what everything's cost. But that is another thing that's so relative, because I live down south and I know that if I was doing this up north, everything would probably be like 2/3 of the price of what I've paid. So I don't know how helpful that would actually be, but I'm a nosy human and I would want to know what it's cost someone. So yeah, let me know maybe in the comments if you want me to do a full video of what everything costs. There's a very fine line on YouTube between sharing what you feel is helpful and oversharing to the point where it comes across as bragging, and I would hate to overstep that mark. One of my other top tips to do with reno and money is I have a note saved in my phone, Hannah's house costs, where I've made a table and I've written down every pound that I have spent on this renovation. I really wanted to keep track of it because I did set a budget. That's something else we'll come on to later in the video. So I needed to keep track. It wasn't just like there was an endless amount of money to spend. I needed to know exactly what I was spending. And the spending with the renovation is very quick. It's very fast paced. You can be spending £200 a day, £400 the next day, 50 quid here and there. It would have been really easy to lose track. So I'm very glad I've done that, and I can add it all up at the end and know exactly what what I've spent. Someone said, you are absolutely smashing the home reno and I wish I could be as creatively minded. Oh, thank you so much, that's really lovely. Some weeks it feels like I'm smashing it. Some weeks, like today has been a pretty good day. I've come in and I think, oh my God, I've got a kitchen. I can't believe it. I've got an extractor fan. What the hell? Like, who let me get to this point? Other days I will be in tears, everything's going wrong, it's problem after problem, and I feel like I have run before I've walked. It's a lot more mentally draining than I thought it would be. How did you decide where to buy the house/live? I feel like it's such a huge decision. It is a really big decision, but for me, it was one that was really easy. My answer to that is I wanted to be wherever my family are. If my family up and moved to Spain, I would up and move to Spain. That is 100% the most important thing to me. But my mum and dad just do not have Spain on the cards. I know they're staying in our area, especially because all our family is in this area. We're quite lucky that we don't really have any close family members that live far away. That was the decision made for me, to be honest. This next assumption, I assume everything else in your life is falling apart around you. Mine is during my first reno. Some days definitely feel like that. It's been a lot harder than I thought it would be to create content around the reno. And I think part of that comes down to the fact it's not finished. I think once it's finished, then I will be making a lot of videos about the process of it. But I feel like at this moment in time, I can't make those TikToks or make those reels because I'm halfway through. There's no end result yet. And I know ultimately that's what people want to see. They want to see the before and the after, or they want to see the progress through. And I can't provide that yet. Yeah, it does sometimes feel like everything else in my life has taken a back seat. Work, opportunities, friendships, even my relationship sometimes I feel like I barely see him at the minute. I've had to close Sunnyside for a while because I am revamping the website, but that's taking a lot longer than I thought because of this reno, because I'm here every day. Mentally it's a lot, and I think when you want to get it done, you prioritize it. So I feel like it's pretty normal that everything else falls apart around you. Hoping so anyway. The next one says you want to have at least 2 kids in the next 5 years. I honestly don't know. Like I said, I've always been really excited for kids. I know that if I'm lucky enough, I definitely want to have at least 1 in the next 5 years, but I guess it depends how my body copes with pregnancy, how we cope as a couple with a child, where we are financially. I wouldn't want to have a second child unless I can afford to have a second child. So there's a whole range of factors, but yeah, I definitely would at least like 1. What's the thing that you were surprised about how much it cost? Good question. I'm gonna say probably the electric work in general. This house has needed way more than I thought it did. When I bought this house and I got the keys, being totally transparent, I didn't think it was gonna be this big of a reno. I kind of thought lick of paint, few little changes. It's ended up being pretty much a full rewire, which is a lot of money. We've found really unsafe electrics in the walls. Cannot stress enough how much of a problem house this has been. By the builder, it's been described as the house from hell. Hoping it won't be that by the end of it. I'm gonna say the electric work. Don't get me wrong, fully 100% it's worth the money, spending on the electrics, the plumbing, the gas, the safety of the house, but it's an expense that I wasn't expecting. The next assumption, the overall refurb / moving in is costing over 20k. Yes, that assumption is correct. I wish it wasn't, but it is. The next one, this is an interesting question. This house isn't your forever home. And you know what? When I first bought this house and I signed those papers, and then when I got the keys, I thought this isn't my forever home. This is gonna be like a stepping stone house for me. Now that we've completely gutted it and we're making it exactly to how I want it, I would be more than happy for this to be my forever home. Obviously, most people want to work their way up the ladder, right? You want to get a bigger house, you want to get the nicer cars, you want to earn more, you want to have a big family. I think the only way that I would absolutely want to move is if I had more children than this house could hold. But saying that, there is still potential with this house. Like, you could extend at the top, you could convert the garage into a room. So I would say this house could comfortably hold a family of 5. If I was going to go into my 4th child one day, God forbid, then I think I'd have to think about moving. But to me and my anxious mind, I want my forever home to be a place that I love, I feel comfortable in, the neighbours are nice, which they all are here. I can afford the monthly bills and still have some money left over. I don't want to be in a position where I get a massive house and then I can pay the bills just, but I can't really do anything else in life. Maybe this will be my forever home, maybe it won't. Only time will tell. But what I do know is that when we started this project, I thought, yeah, I'll be here like 2 to 5 years probably, and then we'll get somewhere bigger. Absolutely not. If I talk about moving house within the next 5 years, you guys have permission to tell me right off and unsubscribe, because I haven't put myself through all this just for 5 years. Right, here we go. I know this is the question that you're all waiting for because there's a lot of them. Have you managed to stick to your budget so far? I'm assuming you've gone over budget. This renovation has cost 30k plus. Someone else said the renovations have cost over 60 grand. First of all, girlie, no, not 60 grand. We're not talking that level of money. All the other assumptions though are correct. I have not managed to stick to the budget. I have in fact gone over. And I'm laughing as I say that. I don't mean for that to sound like, haha, I've gone over budget, no big deal. It's a big deal. It's scary. When I say that I am kind of terrified now, the thing is I've always had savings behind me because I've always been saving for this moment. So for the first time in my life, I think I'm not gonna have a lot of savings to fall back on, which is really scary for me. For someone that's an overthinker, a worrier, has really bad financial anxiety, I worry about being able to pay my bills and feed myself now, and I don't even live here yet. Yeah, it has gone over budget, but maybe my budget was unrealistic. When I first started this project, I thought, right, I'm gonna do the whole thing for 30,000. That was the budget that I set. I think about 2 months ago, I was at 25,000, and I've definitely gone over that now, which isn't ideal because that 30,000 budget, I had left myself a little bit of room. Now that room's becoming a much smaller gap of what I've got left, but I know it's gonna be worth it. Everyone says to me, oh, it'll be so worth it in the end. Some days I think, is it though? That's a lot of money. Is it really worth it? But then I come in on days like today and I see this kitchen nearly finished and I think, that's actually mental. That's what I've been saving for and that's what I've paid for. So yeah, I think it will be worth it. Anyway, before I start spiraling, let's move on. Will your boyfriend be paying part of the mortgage? How have you financially protected yourself? I spoke about this in a vlog, must have been a few months ago now, but before any of this process started, we actually went to a solicitor and had a cohabitation agreement written up. So it stated everything that we've both got in our bank accounts. It's really transparent, what we both earn and what belongs to who in the house. So everything is written up in a contract. I had a few comments debating whether that was the right thing to do or not, but whatever, I did it. I felt like it was the right thing to do. My boyfriend was completely fine with it. He was not pressured into it. He is such a laid back kind of guy, and he is also really sensible, so he knew it made sense. It was nothing to do with him, it was to do with financially protecting both of us. So yeah, that's what we've done in terms of financial protection. As for the mortgage and the bills, everything is going to be split 50-50 between us because we're both using the house, we're both using the electricity, the food, whatever. For us, that just made sense. I bought this house before we were together, so in this contract obviously it's written up that should anything happen, don't think it will, but should it happen, the house is still mine. Even though we've paid 50-50 for all the bills and stuff, we've paid 50% of the mortgage payments each month. He didn't put down any deposit, obviously. So when we eventually come to sell this house in the future, if we do, that money that I put into it, I will get back. Yada yada, you know? I think that's as far as I need to go into it. Next assumption is you'll be home every day to see your mum. No judgment, I wish I lived closer to mine. I will absolutely see my mum every day, unless she's busy. But if she's busy, what could she be doing that's possibly more important than seeing me? I'm definitely gonna be that girl that's on the phone every 5 minutes, or FaceTiming her, or going around to see her for a cup of tea, or going around for dinner, or if my boyfriend's gaming in the evening, I'll go around and watch telly with her. I don't think she realises how much I'm gonna be on the doorstep and back at home. Such a homebody now, and of course I wanna feel settled in this house, but I love my mum's company. Next assumption is you're a good decision maker. I feel totally overwhelmed thinking about colours, kitchen styles, flooring, etc. I haven't really thought about it, but I guess I am kind of good at making decisions. I've always been either a bit of a risk taker, so I think, oh, it'll work out all right in the end, or I know exactly what I want, and I've always been that way. Like, don't get me wrong, there's been decisions in the house that I've had to make. What colour kitchen did I want? What colour paint did I want on the walls? You guys have even seen me make those decisions through the renovation vlogs and change my mind. But I've always known that I wanted like a pretty neutral, calming home, which a lot of people think is boring, to have like a really neutral beigey home. For me, I'd have a neutral home whether it was trendy or not, because my brain is a very busy, anxious brain, and having a calming space really helps that. What was the question? Oh yeah, good decision maker. Yeah, I guess so, because I've always known that's the end goal. This is a big question. When are you moving? Surely almost time to chill and enjoy all your hard work. Yeah, you'd think so, but I thought that a few months ago. No, but in all seriousness, I think probably next month we'll be moving in. Today I've literally booked for the flooring to be done, which is the end of this month / early June. The sofas are arriving mid-June, so is the bed. We can arrange for the other furniture to arrive now because the carpets have been booked. I would say like mid to end of June we'll be moving in. I'm pretty sure that's when it will be. We're having a housewarming barbecue at the end of June, so we've got to be in by then. What are you most excited for about moving into your first home? I think the thing I'm most excited for is to host people around here. My family at home have always been the hosts. We love having people round. We love having family friends round. We love having people round for dinner. We love hosting barbecues. And I really think I have taken on that personality trait. I think I will be a good host, offering everyone drinks, getting the snacks out, getting dinners ready. I honestly think that's what I'm most excited for. Where did you get your patio tiles from and what are they called? So I actually got them from a local tile place near me, but they are a really popular tile with so many tile places. I'll leave a link to them down below. They're called Himalayan White. I have zero regrets with these tiles. This garden is south facing and it's a real sun trap, so I was a little bit worried about what tiles I had with how hot they would be for sunny. There's been really sunny days, I've felt the tiles and they are not hot. There's also been really rainy days and the tiles aren't slippery. The decking, however, oh my god, lethal when it's wet. Bear that in mind if you're going to get decking. That was the main reason that I got rid of most of the decking outside the back door, because I could just see myself. They're porcelain tiles, 100% recommend. What's the realistic price of kitchen reno? About to embark on mine and need to set expectations. So this kitchen, the carcasses cost me around £8,000 from DIY Kitchens, which is a lot of money, but it's a lot cheaper than other places. And that also includes the units in the laundry. And then kitchen appliances, we've paid about £3,500 to £4,000 for all the appliances. So that's without electric work and without the flooring, but the actual kitchen, about £12,500, I think. I guess I won't really know until I add up the dreaded list, but that's a rough estimate for you. Oh, this assumption, you don't let your boyfriend have a say. Believe it or not, I do actually let the boy have an opinion. Every decision that's been made in this house has been made pretty much together, but he's a very laid back guy. Like, he always says, whatever you like best, whatever you think looks best, go for that one, but we have very similar tastes. So I actually don't think we've disagreed on anything interior wise, other than the fact that this boy wants to put this frog ornament that he's got in the house somewhere. I'll put a picture of it on screen. It's hideous, but I mean, I've got to let him have something, right? But I've kind of compromised and I think the frog might be going in the downstairs toilet. There's also another question about him. Will you show your boyfriend? So yeah, I think so. I think he's just gonna be like in the vlogs casually. Obviously we're gonna be living together, so it's kind of hard to not have him in the vlogs. At the minute where I'm living at home, neither of my parents wanna be in my videos. So for the past 10 years, it's just kind of been me on my channel. So it will be nice to like be able to converse with someone on camera, do you know what I mean? But he's very much a normal guy with a normal job. He works from home, he's got a 9 to 5. So I don't think he's going to be like a main character in the vlogs. It's still going to be mostly me and Sunny, but he might appear every now and again. He's funny though. I'm excited for him to be in the vlogs a bit more because I think you guys are going to find him as hilarious as I do. Do you have any reno regrets? Are there things you chose that you would now change? I do have some regrets. I definitely learned this the hard way. Looking back now, it's so stupid. One of the first jobs I got done was the bedrooms being decorated. Such a waste of money because there's so much dust and building work going on. Everything needed redoing. Some walls in those rooms needed replastering. The electric works needed doing. The plugs needed changing. So obviously the rest of the walls got dirty and me and my mum had to redo all of that decorative work. So because of that, that actually meant I lost almost £2,000 of work that I paid the decorator to do. So another top tip, don't get any decorating done until dusty building work is finished, especially because the bathroom was being entirely redone. Tiles were being cut up there in freshly decorated bedrooms. Like I said, plaster was going on the walls in freshly decorated bedrooms. It's just the wrong way around to do it. So I do regret that. The financial hit that I took from that, slightly soul destroying. Another assumption, everything will be greige, no colour pops. I don't know really. I mean, yeah, all the undertones of everything is going to be very neutral. Upstairs in the main bedroom, we are having one green wall, so that's a pop of colour. The downstairs toilet is going to be pink and navy with a pink ceiling, so pop of colour there. Don't worry, even if there's not loads of colour in the lounge and stuff, there is still going to be life. There's still going to be ornaments and photo frames and family photos. I definitely want it to feel homely, not like stark, like a show home. I've been filming this for 40 minutes, so I'm going to make this my last question. How much are you budgeting for your monthly outgoings for when you move in? Obviously, we've not moved in yet, so it's kind of hard to tell what the food shop is going to cost and what the electric bill is going to cost. We're currently on a flexible rate. Is that what it's called? Flexible? Yeah, I think it's a flexible rate for our electric and our gas, but when we move in, I think we're going to change that to fixed. fixed. We have just got a smart meter fitted though, so we're definitely going to try and keep an eye on what we're spending every month, but at this moment in time, we don't really have a clue. We think the way we're going to do it is, so we've got a joint bank account and we're both going to transfer £1,500 a month into that bank account for all the bills and see how we go. I don't know though, surely, does it cost £3 a month to run a house? Maybe not, I don't know. We'll see what we can afford. We might be able to bring that down, maybe to £1,200 each a month. I was gonna say, feel free to let me know in the comments how much your bills cost, but that feels a bit personal. If anyone's comfortable, am I about right? Is that okay? Is it between, like, we're guessing 2,500 to 3,000 it's gonna cost per month? That's another video I could make in a few months' time of how much it actually costs to run our 3-bed semi-detached house in Essex. We're gonna cross our fingers and hope for the best, my friends. But anyway, I have rambled, honestly. Put some syrup and berries on me because I am professional at the waffle. But I hope you guys enjoyed this chatty little Q&A. I'm so sorry if I didn't get around to your exact question, but I think I've answered a good majority sense of them. Do subscribe to see my future videos. Stick around to see when I actually move into this gaff and I'm actually cooking in this kitchen. I cannot wait for that day, and then we'll all look back and think, oh, that seems like yesterday that handed the Q&A in her half-built kitchen. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Have a lovely week next week, and I will see you guys again next Sunday with another little video. Bye guys, love ya.